Hello, and welcome to a new reading vlog. This time I'm prepared. I am gonna try to fit in a little bit of reading before I head out to work. I'm kind of smart casual today, is that what it's called? I'm very excited about my reads. I have 3 library books. I might throw in a graphic novel or 2. I do have 3 of them as well. I might not read all of them, but I do want to read maybe one. First book that I have is Grady Hendrix's How to Sell a Haunted House. This is a new release, and this is for Gabby's book troop book club. I have never read anything by Grady Hendrix. I do want to. This is going to be an exciting thriller. A horror, I think. The next one that I have is the Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. It is YA. And then the last book is Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Tarryn Fisher. Colleen Hoover, very hit or miss author for me, mostly miss. And Tarryn Fisher, I think I've read one book by, and it was not it. This is a thriller, and I'm excited for that because I have liked Colleen Hoover's thriller, right? I think we all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna start off with How to Sell a Haunted House. Louise's parents have died, and she doesn't really want to go home, leave her kid with her ex. She has to clean out her parents' shit and have the help of her brother, who resents Louise's success. But it seems like the house has other plans for them, is what it says. I started a buddy read with my sister, so this is gonna get a little bit confusing in terms of like page counts, but I have been so sleep deprived. I have been suffering through some insomnia lately, so I didn't get to sleep until like 5 o'clock. So I've been just passing out on the train and not reading too much. I've only read about 55 pages, and the foundation, I guess, of like Louise and her brother Mark's relationship is there. It's very bad. They're in a fight. They obviously both think in very different ways. They want different things for their parents' funerals and for their property. The house is a little bit scary. The TV is turning on really randomly, but that's it so far. I'm not really sure what extent to expect because I've never read a haunted house story before, or like Grady Hendrix, but so far it's good. Louise does have other members of her family, other women to lean on a little bit, but because she moved out of her home state, she doesn't quite know them as well as she would like, and she feels just a little bit disconnected from everybody else. I thought that How to Sell a Haunted House is going to be split into the 5 stages of grief, so 5 different parts, but the next one is bargaining, so I think it's just the stages in which you need to sell a haunted house. It's a lot more haunted now and a lot more scary. I was reading it late at night and I hate it. Oh my god, like in a good way, in a horror way. It's definitely scary, and I don't want to like imagine it too much in detail and like read it too much to like prevent myself from getting too scared. Right now I am packing up to go to the East Village apartment because I won't be coming back here for a while, because after the East Village apartment I will be in Astoria for cat sitting my cousin's cats. So I'm like quickly exporting my video. I'm kind of frantic because I had a long lunch with my mom. I'm excited to get back to reading this more. It's taking me a little bit longer, but I don't mind it. I'm still getting ready for the day, but I woke up and did some like Duolingo lessons yesterday. Kind of sucked. I went to eat dinner with my friend. I came here, had all my shit. It was so heavy. Had dinner with my friend Gina, and I realized that I forgot the key to my cousin's house. So after dinner and dessert, I went back to Brooklyn to get all the stuff. It also gave me the opportunity to change my shoes because it's feeling a little bit more like spring now, and my knee-high boots were just a little bit too hot. It also gave me the opportunity to finish Grady Hendrix's How to Sell a Haunted House. I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. I feel like it could have been 4, but I didn't quite like love the ending. I felt like it gave a little bit too much explanation in regards to how it was going to wrap up, which like makes sense though, because in like having the 5 stages of How to Sell a Haunted House, the last one is acceptance. I don't feel like it was completely unnecessary, but I kind of just wanted it to end like, this is how, and then I didn't need to know like the epilogue-y sort of part of it. I kind of like that in romance books because it shows like, oh, the whatever happy ever after. I will say that with it being my first horror in a while for this year, maybe, I don't know. But definitely my first Grady Hendrix. I had a good time. The doll aspect, the puppet aspect was very creepy. It was kind of like Annabelle, which I've never seen, but very scary, especially with one of the puppets being a clown. And I kind of just hated the fact also that, you know, with dolls, like, they can move on their own, but a puppet actually needs to be in, like, on someone's hand in order to work. So that was also just a fucking trip. It was scary. My next book I can't believe I brought 5 books with me. I was going to read the other YA book that I had, but talking with my friend Gina, who also has read some Colleen Hoover, and we just love to kind of like make fun of the books, I thought I would read Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Tarryn Fisher. It says Charlize and Silas have been best friends forever. They've also been in love since the age of 14, but as of this morning, they are complete strangers. Every memory has vanished, and now they have to work together to uncover the truth about what happened to them. But the more they learn about the couple they used to be, the more they question why they were ever together to begin with. Forgetting is terrifying, but remembering might be worse. With there being 2 authors, I'm hoping that it will be told in 2 different perspectives. Hopefully this is better than the other Colleen Hoover books, because I do, like I said, like her thrillers. I think I might read March if I could get ready quickly and can fit in a graphic novel. Yesterday, I did start reading March, book 2 by John Lewis, Andrew Aydin, and I think the illustrations are by Nate Powell. Didn't end up getting to Never. I had to look at the book. I didn't finish it, even though I usually like to finish graphic novels in a day because I just didn't have the time. But I got 90 pages through it, so about halfway. And with this being the second book, it is a continuation of John Lewis's contribution to the civil rights movement and him like getting down and actually getting beat by police, by white people, by racist people who didn't think that people like him, black people, should be sitting next to them on the bus or in establishments. And it's terrifying. They are told explicitly what possibility of happening to them is, and they all write down a will before they begin their protest, and it's all supposed to be peaceful, and yet this one man is like fumigating his diner and just locking the door and letting them die there. And this is like real events. Without him putting in this kind of work, we wouldn't be where we are today. It could have been a lot worse, which is saying things really badly, but it's true. So there is a third book that I still have at home as well that I would like to finish. I would like to finish the rest of this today. It's very powerful and I'm really enjoying reading it. I do have plans today. Coda and I are going to go watch Cocaine Bear, and then we have dinner plans, so hopefully somewhere in between while I'm like getting ready and stuff I can read, because I only have 1 book down. I am getting settled in Queens. I actually don't quite know if I will get this video up in time for this week because I just haven't been reading as much. I had a bit of a weekend and spent Sunday like recovering, so I didn't read at all on Saturday, and then what I did finish on Sunday was March, book 2, which I finished. It left off on a bit of a cliffhanger, and this part where John Lewis was saying that out of all of the 6 important people within the civil rights movement, he's the only one still alive, and that just kind of hit really hard because he also has passed away last year or 2 years ago. He's talking about like pacifist way of using nonviolence or attacking back when you are attacked, and like him kind of being caught in between that because the generations are sort of changing within the movement and he's moving up, and the person that was at the top for him is now out of this group, and that he kind of created and he really helped to push forward this way of protesting. I found this to be really powerful. I'm really excited to get to the next book when I go home and I can grab it. But today I will be starting with Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Tarryn Fisher. It'll take me a while, I'm assuming, so I might not have an upload for the week, but because I'm now cat sitting, they woke me up at 5:30. It wasn't great because I slept at 2, but I might try to film a little day in my life or like my routine now, because once I kind of get more settled into this place, because well, this is not at all what my daily life is usually like. So yeah, let me show you some of the cats. Hi, Mouser. Oh, he looks kind of angry. But he's the oldest. He's also the biggest one. And these cuddle bugs, the white one is Moon, and the little shy boy over there is Muta. I went home once to pack, so I spent a lot of time on the train. I was able to eat dinner with my mom, but I was also able to finish Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Tarryn Fisher. There's like a little bonus feature of the astrological profile, which I'm not sure why is important, that I have to read, but that's like 5 pages. Apparently this is a reprint edition. This was originally published in 2017, and Tarryn Fisher, I think, made some edits to it because all rights are reserved to her for the revised text edition for 2023. And Goodreads isn't like letting me, I guess it's like at capacity, so nothing's loading to see what other people have said about this book, other people that I follow, my friends. That's why I wasn't really hearing anything about it. This is like not good. I don't think that there was an explanation at all of why every memory has vanished. That's kind of like the only reason why I was reading this, why it was keeping me intrigued and interested. So I think it's like a 2-star because it wasted my motherfucking time. I might start the Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School, I think it's called, today. But I also, one of the like 5 books that I brought back with me is March book 3, which is the last installment in this graphic memoir, and it is the chunkiest one. My mom is gonna come over to have lunch with me, so I got kind of dressed. I didn't want to change out of my bottoms though because there is cat hair everywhere. But regarding Never Never, it definitely is 2 stars because the writing and stuff is not bad and I was minimally interested, but it seems like a lot of people didn't think this book was good either. I don't know if it's just because Colleen Hoover is doing a collaboration or Tarryn Fisher's the problem, or just this plot, like the whole reasoning behind why they lost their memories just fell flat for a lot of people. Reading other people's reviews, it was made clear to me and I like why they lost their memories, and I had thought about that, but it didn't seem like plausible or enough or worth it enough that like kind of like went over my head. So I can't wait to be rid of this. This was not good. It reads like mature and immature at the same time, which is really annoying. Ugh, no. Also, because this vlog isn't a week long like I usually like them to be, because it allows me to keep track of how much reading I've done, and I don't have an upload for today, it feels very weird. I am not exactly sure how many pages I have read. I don't think I'll know until the end when I can tally up all the books that I finished, but I do want to start my next read before my mom arrives, although she should be coming pretty soon. My next book is going to be The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes. This is YA, and I'm hoping it's going to be loads better than the Colleen Hoover book. Yamilet is 16 years old, and she is kind of known for being one of the only Mexican kids at her new, mostly white, very rich Catholic school where no one knows she's gay, and she'd rather nobody did know about that. But after being outed by her crush and her ex-best friend before being transferred to this new school, she has new priorities of keeping her brother out of trouble, making her mother proud, and not falling in love. I didn't think this would be a romance, but it's hard faking being straight at school when the only openly queer girl at school is so annoyingly perfect and smart and talented and cute. So cute. Either way, Yami isn't going to make the same mistake again. If word got back to her mom, she could face a lot worse than rejection. So she'll have to start asking WWSGD. What would a straight girl do? Jessie from Jessie on YouTube recommended this or was raving about it, I think 2 years ago, and I'm finally picking it up. I came home once to go to the library because I left a cute little photo booth photo of me and my friend Gina in a book and check, so I had to come get it and return some books. But I wanted to be able to also finish the entirety of The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School and finish this vlog. I have read a decent amount. I'm already on page 300 and I only have this much left, and I'm hoping to leave in like roughly half an hour. I really would rather not bring back another hardcover book with me. So far, Yami has found her group of friends at Catholic school, even though she's kind of struggling with going to Catholic school because she is closeted. It feels wrong, especially because she knows that her mom is really against being gay and she doesn't know what her dad thinks. Her brother also has no idea. Her friends also have no idea, although she is now friends with one of the girls girls who is openly gay. She has a huge crush on her. The book is really cute, and Beau, the crush, really reminds me a lot of one of the characters from Turning Red, which is so cute. I'm really enjoying reading this. I really like Yami. I understand her struggles. Her father was also deported, so she really misses him a lot, and her family dynamic, or especially her relationship with her brother, is so great. For the most part, she gets along with her mom. I'm really having a nice time reading this book. I was editing this and I totally forgot that I didn't do a wrap up, and I look like a mess, but hi. I finished reading Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School that day. It was splendid. I gave it 5 stars. I cried a little bit. I just was really happy for Yami and that she was able to find her people and be comfortable in her own skin and just find happiness, which sounds really cheesy, but you know, she's young and she needs it. After hating herself kind of for so long and hiding herself from her own family even, she really didn't have anybody that she could be out to. It felt real nice for everything to wrap up and for her to have found the people that she needed to be with to kind of grow and be herself with. I actually ended up reading like 5 books for this video because I read 3 full novels and 2 graphic novels. I read a whopping total of 1,593 pages and a wide variety of like ratings. Grady Hendrix's How to Sell a Haunted House I gave 3.5 stars. The 2 graphic novels that I read, March Book 2 and March Book 3 by John Lewis, Nate Powell, and Andrew Aydin, I didn't rate because I don't usually do so with graphic novels. I found them to be very hard-hitting and very important reads, so if you have the opportunity, I definitely recommend picking them up. I also read Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Tarryn Fisher, which 2 stars. Terrible. And then the last book that I read, like you just heard, was Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Reyes, who is also queer. 5 lovely stars. I feel like I haven't had a 5-star in a long time, so I definitely really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!